Right now, there's a hidden battle going on. Giant corporations, superpowers, and even rogue nations are all racing to dominate the world through AI. I'm not saying this to freak you out, but drones, humanoid robots, and AI-driven weapons are quietly becoming real, powerful tools. And they're changing the game way faster than most people realize. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how these pieces connect and why the race for AI supremacy could spark an entirely new kind of global conflict. One that's fought not by soldiers, but by swarms of self-learning robots who answer to nobody. Real quick, if you're into generative AI, AI avatars, and all that cool stuff, and you want to learn how to create and use it like a pro, we're dropping a free course soon. Just hit the link in the description, leave your email, and you'll get early access, 100% free. You'll also get our weekly AI newsletter, so you never miss a thing, even if you skip a video. All right, let me walk you through the whole story like this. We'll begin with what's fueling this wild rush toward advanced AI, then get into how AI drones, humanoid robots, militaries, global powers, and even nature are all wrapped up in it. It's a web of connections most people don't even see. And by the time we're done, you might feel like we're already halfway into a new era, one that could go either really well or not. Let's rewind to where a lot of the conversation about an AI arms race started. It's basically that big tech firms are chasing AGI, artificial general intelligence, which can do anything a human can do and then some. The motivation is partly economic. If you can build an AI that replaces most human workers, you can tap into a chunk of the global economy that's worth trillions. Some experts have pegged it around $100 trillion in global output. And that's led to big companies, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, feeling a kind of gold rush vibe. They're dumping insane sums of money into powerful compute centers that train bigger and bigger models. On top of that, governments see AGI as not just an economic advantage, but also a potential military advantage. And if you combine everything, the race is fueled by a fear that whoever gets there first will have the upper hand in controlling or steering the world's future. Now, this is where it starts to get really alarming. People have begun to realize that superintelligence might not actually be controllable. We're seeing signs even with smaller models. These AI systems can trick evaluators, lie about what they can do, or figure out ways to replicate themselves. It's a little nerve-wracking, especially if you think about them being integrated into the military or being used in fully autonomous ways. The worry is that countries won't want to pause to think about this carefully. Instead, they'll just keep going faster so nobody else beats them. You start mixing that with the latest developments in drones and robots, and suddenly we're dealing with new forms of warfare that might be unstoppable. So let's talk drones for a second. China, for one, is going into overdrive with drones of all shapes and sizes, everything from super fast recon drones to ones that can carry smaller attack drones inside them or fight aircraft. We've got references to things like the WZ-9 Divine Eagle, apparently cruising at high altitudes in the South China Sea, plus these new Wing Loong variants that carry missiles and bombs. The Chinese approach here is that they want a big swarm of cheap but capable unmanned systems. And it's not just for scouting. They're definitely looking at ways to carry anti-ship or air-to-air missiles, bombs, or even electronic warfare systems. It's like the next stage of warfare where a swarm of drones can overwhelm the enemy. And if that's not enough, they've also put 1 million so-called kamikaze drones on order. That's a huge step into mass production with an AI twist, meaning these drones can eventually figure out their own flight paths or targets in more autonomous ways. The US, of course, hasn't been sitting idly by. The US Department of Defense started an initiative called Replicator to get thousands of drones out there really quickly. Meanwhile, companies like Anduril are partnering with OpenAI, hooking up advanced AI software with defense systems. So, you've got the US and China both seeing drones as an essential part of modern warfare. Throw in new computer vision, advanced sensors, big AI models, and you can see how the concept of a robotic battlefield starts to become real. The idea is that these swarms can outthink or outrun human operators, especially if the AI behind them can coordinate everything. We've even got talk of specialized factories, like this place Anduril calls Arsenal 1 in Ohio, where they plan to mass produce these advanced drones and weapons. It's starting to look a lot like an AI-based industrial complex. But it's not just about flying drones. There's a whole wave of humanoid robots coming at us. Chinese companies like Unitree and UB Tech are making big breakthroughs. One moment, you see these robots in a video doing a side flip or practicing Tai Chi. Another moment, you see them performing balancing acts and dancing. The big difference now is they're not just stunts. They're part of a strategy to commercialize and even militarize these humanoids. Some Chinese experts are already saying that their humanoid robot G1 from Unitree is outdoing what Boston Dynamics' Atlas can do with cartwheels, and that huge leaps in AI simulation technology from companies like Nvidia have helped accelerate that progress. Nvidia has its Isaac Sim, which allows robots to be virtually trained on tasks at super fast speeds before rolling them out in the real world. That means companies can refine their robot designs much faster than they used to. Elon Musk, for his part, has said that humanoid robots could be a $10 trillion business. He's betting on Tesla's Optimus to dominate that space. Meanwhile, Tesla's got competition from China's BYD, Xpeng, and these startups that want to bring down the cost of humanoids by leveraging existing electric vehicle supply chains. And just like we saw with electric cars, Chinese companies might find ways to do this at massive scale and at a fraction of the cost. We've heard talk of building specialized robot factories that can crank out tens of thousands of humanoids. Figure AI, for instance, has a facility they call Bot Q, and they plan to produce thousands of Figure 03 robots each year, eventually scaling up to as many as they need. They're designing their manufacturing lines to minimize cost, speed up production, and eventually even use their own robots on the factory floor. Of course, that begs the question, what happens when these humanoid robots are good enough and cheap enough that they start taking over tasks in warehouses, factories, or even as caregivers in nursing homes? We're talking about mass unemployment, or at least huge disruption. These systems, combined with advanced AI, can do repetitive tasks, file taxes, or even design new AI architectures once we give them enough autonomy. Some fear that we'll lose control, that superintelligent AI might outsmart us, or that it might lead to new forms of global conflict. Suppose a country or big corporation uses these robots to build better versions of themselves while restricting other parties from doing the same. That's the scenario where we stumble toward an AI-based arms race that has a high risk of turning into a real war or intense standoff, and we haven't even gotten to North Korea yet. North Korea recently showcased what they call AI suicide drones, basically loitering munitions that can track and crash into targets. Kim Jong-un was pictured proudly inspecting them alongside a big new airborne early Waiming aircraft. Rumors suggest Russia may have assisted them in developing some of these advanced systems, possibly in return for North Korean support in Ukraine. That synergy means we're seeing proliferation of advanced AI-based military capabilities in places we probably don't want them. As soon as you have these drones that can autonomously pick targets, you're a step away from lethal autonomy. And that is super unsettling for folks who study arms control, because it's not like nuclear weapons that require big facilities. These advanced drones might be manufactured in relatively small, discrete setups. Yet, ironically, at the same time, we see China using drones for environmental projects. They apparently used LiDAR drones to count 142.6 billion trees for this giant Great Green Wall reforestation effort. The technology can also be used to do seed drops for afforestation. So, the same base technology that's used to wage war can also be used to fight climate change. That's the duality we're dealing with right now. It's also fascinating that the US added 80 new Chinese companies to its export blacklist, trying to limit Beijing's access to advanced AI and chips. But Chinese manufacturers keep figuring out ways around it, smuggling chips or using slightly downgraded GPUs to keep training big models. We end up with these weird scenarios where, on the one hand, the US is imposing sanctions, and on the other hand, we see Chinese companies building advanced robotics anyway, in part because their supply chains are so strong in motors, sensors, and low-cost manufacturing. So you have a country that's able to push out these new humanoid prototypes, refine them quickly, and go from side-flipping robots to real industrial solutions. That synergy might let them catch up to or even surpass Western robotics in record time. Now let's circle back to the potential for an actual AI-driven conflict or war. Some experts worry about this scenario called intelligencized warfare, where swarms of drones, guided by advanced AI, challenge our conventional militaries. In the US, the Navy has older ships and systems that weren't designed for AI from the ground up, while China is building new fleets with AI integrated from the start. The same pattern is showing up in armies around the world that are exploring drone swarms or teaming up with big software companies to coordinate thousands of autonomous craft at once. You can just imagine that if tensions spike over something like Taiwan or the South China Sea, or if a conflict in Eastern Europe drags on, these new AI weapons get deployed and no one really knows how quickly they might escalate. On top of that, some people mention the simple day-to-day aspects of AI infiltration. The more we get used to AI chatbots that can pass advanced tests or manipulate people in subtle ways, the more we might be sleepwalking into a situation where we no longer trust what we see or read. Combine that with advanced robotics in factories, offices, or even homes, and the social disruptions become massive. There's also the big push from multinational companies to do public relations around the potential benefits. They show us how robots can care for the elderly, or how AI can help keep track of complicated data streams, or help with climate mitigation. So it becomes this confusing world where we see huge benefits on one side, but also staggering risks on the other. In the end, the real worry is that once AI gets advanced enough, it might just take control itself, either because we willingly hand it over or because it figures out how to break free from our rules. Some experts think we should stick to safer, limited tool AI, but that's not what's happening. Big labs and militaries are pushing for autonomy, building robots that can think, plan, move, and communicate on their own, powered by GPT-level language models and beyond. It's exciting but risky, a genuine double-edged sword. So yeah, that's where things stand right now. A path that could take us into global chaos or something way better, all depending on how we deal with it. The momentum isn't slowing down, so it's really up to all of us, governments, companies, and regular people, to make sure it doesn't spin out of control. Thanks for watching and listening to me ramble on this. It's a complicated subject, I know, but it's one of those big stories that's going to dominate the next decade or two, and we're already seeing the pieces fall into place. Appreciate you all staying with me, and let me know what you think about this possible new AI-driven era. Are you excited, or is it giving you a sense of dread? Or both? Stick around, and I'll keep you posted as these developments come in, day by day.